It was almost Christmas in the Murphy house, and little Martha May was not excited. She wore a pouty frown to show that Christmas was not invited. She didn't understand how her family could be so unaware that Christmas was coming, and some she had known before, they wouldn't be there. You see, Martha May suffered the loss of two that were dear. Her sweet Nana Nan and her furry companion Callie Girl were no longer here. She felt alone and sad, and the thought of celebrating Christmas made her feel bad. While Mama was preparing cards to send, signed with love, joy, and a prayer, Martha May noticed that from the cards, glitter fell about and around her everywhere. Martha May said, "Mama, what a mess. Why do you buy cards with glitter?" Mama looked softly into the eyes of Martha May and knew that the glitter was not all that was heavy on her heart that day. Mama took her little girl in her lap, kissed her forehead, and said, "May May, you are sad about Nana Nan and Callie Girl. Don't lose your hope and follow the glitter trails." Martha May was confused and didn't understand. She didn't want to try. In her thoughts, she said, "Mama can't cheer me. I will stay just as I am." She looked at her mama's kind eyes and tried to fake a smile, jumped from her lap, and pouted for a while. Mama sat in silence for just a short time. She prayed a simple prayer for her hurting child. "Dear Lord," she said, "please help my Martha May. Please touch her heart in some special way. Show her the light of your love and the hope of Christmas Day." Mama was busy wrapping and doing. Martha May was busy watching and stewing. She decided to get out of the house and get some air. Surely no glitter and cheer would be out there. She went out on the sidewalk and looked down at her feet, and to her dismay, she saw glitter in a trail leading somewhere. "Oh my," she thought, "what is this? Well, I'm going to find out who the culprit is, and then I will tell them just what a mess this glitter is." She followed the shining path, and upon it she found a tiny cat. "Oh, how cute! To whom do you belong? You're so small and so sweet, you must have a home." The tiny cat had a collar with a glittery bow. She looked closely at the collar, and what do you know? A name was clearly written, Lammy. "Oh dear," Martha May said aloud, "that name won't do at all. You are all white and so small. Snowflake is a much better name." But as she was working out a name for this Lammy cat, the tiny kitty walked on ahead, following the glitter path. She and Snowflake now proceeded on, and to their surprise, they came upon a dog. This pup was not small, about medium-sized. He had short hair and golden eyes. He looked a bit tough, but wore a smile as dogs can do, almost as if to say, "How do you do?" Little Martha May saw a collar on him too, and again in the collar a name clearly written, Lammy. "Oh dear," Martha May said aloud, "that name again? What is going on here?" she thought. As her face wore the question, the dog began to walk. Down the glitter trail, now 3 were walking: a girl, a cat, and a dog. The golden-eyed dog with the strange name walked at the lead, with the tiny cat just behind, and then the girl. Little Martha May, who was beginning to lose track of her reason for getting air and every other bother and care. She was forgetting to be grumpy. She forgot she was angry and sad. She began to feel something else, and it didn't feel too bad. She began to wonder. She wondered now about the glitter trail and the cat and the dog named Lammy. Little Martha May was lost in wonder, and she followed the tiny lammy cat and the golden-eyed lammy dog instead of the glitter trail. They had not traveled far from Martha May's home, but it seemed like so much time had flown. They came to a corner and turned to the right, staying safely on the sidewalk to Martha May's block. As they turned the corner, Martha May could see a small structure of wood. It was rough-looking and full of hay on the ground, and there seemed to be other animals and some people gathered around. The steps of Lammy Cat and Lammy Dog became quicker. Little Martha May had to speed up her pace, and reaching the structure, she made a strange face. She looked all around and saw what looked like a stable, with a basket in the middle. And when she looked up, she saw a star on the gable. It looked like a manger scene, like the one at her church, but the scene was not complete. Little Martha May said, "Snowflake, you sit over there, and you, Lammy Dog, sit next to her." "Now," said Martha May, yes, you, sir, with the staff in your hand, and your wife, would you please stand over this basket and stare, like your precious boy child Jesus is resting there?" The two listened and went just as she said, and they really did look like they saw a real child in that basket bed. Little Martha May saw a man and a boy with 2 dogs. She asked them to act like shepherds with their sheep, and they did as she said without a need to repeat. There were 3 others that she employed as the Magi from the east, and as she gazed upon the scene, she felt a strange feeling, a longing in her heart. As the others were gazing into the basket, the glitter trail shimmered just a bit brighter, and she could see it led to the manger scene, and right to the place where the boy child Jesus should lay. She closed her eyes and knelt down on the hay. Little Martha May prayed a very special prayer that day. "Dear baby Jesus, I forgot about you. I was angry and sad and didn't care for Christmas celebrations. But I forgot the real reason for Christmas. Please forgive me and help me to see Christmas is about you and saving us all from sin. Please help me prepare my heart for you to come in." Just as she finished her prayer, she felt a light touch on her shoulder. She turned to see her mama standing beside her. Little Martha May turned to her mama and hugged her so tightly, with tiny tears appearing. She looked up into her sweet mama's eyes, and before she could say a word, a tiny cry could be heard. She turned to where she heard the sound, and there was a baby boy child swaddled and laying in the basket bed. She looked at the scene, and the others just smiled. Dogs' tails were wagging, and Snowflake just stared. Mama and Martha May kneeled together in prayer at the manger scene with the glitter everywhere. And when they finished, they walked hand in hand back to their home. And from that Christmas on, little Martha May saw messy glitter in a whole new way. The end. My husband once wrote,
"I never want to leave his side, and he won't let me. I must resign myself to his love then. Why try to be the janitor of his love? Does he need me to be his maintenance man to sweep back the messiness of his grace upon the shoreline of eternity?"
When I think about glitter at Christmas, it has that certain messiness that seems to be uncontainable, just like God's grace. He's always seeking us and even using the unique way He created us to call us to know Him. If we believe or not, we cannot deny His presence. And if we do deny Him, we are fooling ourselves and missing out on eternal glory. Merry Christmas, everyone.